Hi everybody, my name is Joy Hall and we are at my farm, Joy Farms, today with Hannah doing a canning video on carrots. So I just harvested these lovely carrots this morning. They're fresh from the farm.
And what's lovely about it is that they're so colorful. Once you get them all scrubbed up and cleaned, you don't necessarily have to peel them, which I think is another step that kind of cuts. Plus you get that little extra bit of nutrition that's in those peels as well. But what you want to do before you start cutting and doing that is you want to go through your carrots and check each, because some of these are smaller. All you really need to do is take off these little ends and then check to make sure if there's any blemishes or anything like that. You want to make sure you cut those out because you don't want that to be in your jar. Then you want to size your carrots for your jars depending on the size of your jars. We're going to use the smaller pints today. If you want to, you can have them long or round like dimes, or you can keep them whole when they're small. This is cool. So we're going to be putting these in the jar just as they are to pickle them. What are some of your reasons why you have your own farm, Joy?
Mostly the flavor of the vegetables. You know what you're putting into your body. There's no preservatives or harmful chemicals on the vegetables that you grow at home. Convenience. You can just go right out to your garden and pick up stuff for your dinners.
It's great because you can utilize the entire parts of the plant. So you're not just getting like the root. You can actually eat the carrot tops, just like beet tops. But in this instance, you can add them to your salad. You were saying that we could maybe make it into a pesto sauce. Joy, should we move on to the brine?
Yes, let's do it.
Let's pickle these babies. So we have to make a brine. The brine here is already been heated. You bring it to a boil. What we're using is the pickling vinegar and also some kosher salt. You can also use sea salt as well. So those are what's going to be used to preserve those wonderful, beautiful veggies. So what we're also adding to add some flavor to these bad boys here is some garlic. What I like to do is I like to put the garlic and the dill in first, and then we're going to put in the beautiful carrots. So once we get these filled, Joy, if you'd like to put some carrots in this one, we can show how far we fill the brine. Depending on what product you're making, you definitely want to make sure that you leave a good space for the boil. Why is it so important for us to do some of these canning, Joy?
It's good to can your leftover vegetables so that nothing goes to waste. Why do you think that our grandparents canned or preserved food?
One thing I was thinking of was electricity. I don't think we had that back then.
Yeah.
And canning, I think, is really great for if there's power outages. A lot of our communities actually have to deal with power outages. Freezer and fridge space can also be an issue. Plus, you literally can just take this with you wherever you're gonna go, and you can eat it right out of the jar.
Can you think of any other reasons why our people can?
Oh my goodness, there's so many beautiful reasons, but I think something is we definitely increase our shelf life with these foods. Also, we know exactly what's going into our jars because we've done that. And we often, as we've been taught by our grandmothers, to have a good mind and a good heart and put love into our food. All right, so next is our brine. So our brine has to be warmed so that you make sure you're not putting anything too hot or too cold into your jar, right? Because we are working with glass. As soon as you start washing your veggies and your produce, start your water bath. You might as well get that nice and hot and ready to go so that when you put the jars in, it's you don't have to wait an extra few minutes.
And you want to leave, is that enough headspace?
Ooh, you got a little bit too much there. I would take a bit out, yeah. Just to be sure. Nice. That's wonderful.
Yeah, okay.
And we also made sure that these lids are put into hot water as well. It helps to ensure the seal.
So you say that we have to warm them up but not boil, right?
No, you don't have to boil them. What I like to do is I just take some of the hot water from the water bath, and then I add those to the lids just about when I'm ready to put everything together. I also make sure that we wipe the jar tops so that nothing is on the actual rim as well. You want to make sure that's nice and clean. There's several ways that you can sterilize your jars. One is very simple with soapy water or hot water and soap. You can also put them in the oven at 250 degrees for about 20 minutes. All right, so now that we have these jars ready and prepped, we're going to show you how to water bath them. Fantastic. So now that they're all tight in their warm little bath, they're going to boil for about 20 minutes, and then we'll take them out and we'll just see the finished product. All right, so Joy, it's been about 25 minutes. Let's take these out. I want to see them.
Okay, let's do it. Also, I was just wondering, what is this this metal part on the bottom? Is that so the jars don't touch the bottom of
Exactly, right, because as they're bubbling, they're moving, and you don't want anything to kind of break or crack. So it's nice to have a rack in there. Oh my goodness, look at these. They're beautiful. Loving the colors. I like to take mine out and put them on a little tea towel just so that they can, there's lots of water that's coming off of them, but also because you actually don't really want to play around and move them too much for the first 24 hours. And you kind of sit around and wait for that beautiful ting. And that ting lets you know that these have sealed perfectly. And that way you know that your product is going to be preserved for the shelf life. And these particular is anywhere from 6 months to a year of a shelf life. Joy Farms and Canning today. We've made some beautiful pickled carrots. I'm so excited. I'll have to wait until spring maybe to eat them, but we'll see. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming and sharing your knowledge of canning with us today, Helena.
Great.
Bye, everybody.